to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Welcome.
It's really nice to see you in person because obviously we've spoken on the phone, haven't we?
Yes,
a few
exactly.
times, but
Yeah.
I found the science really interesting.
Yeah.
And was that stuff that you...
Guys, Carol Middleton just wrecked Queen Camilla, and I mean completely blindsided her with a move so brutal, so unexpected, Camilla ended up in tears, literal tears. You ever see the quiet one in the corner finally have their moment and it leaves everyone stunned into silence? That's exactly what just went down inside Buckingham Palace. And guess who's at the center of this royal drama? Oh yes, our girl, Carol Middleton. But hold on, let's rewind for a second, because this tension, it didn't just pop out of nowhere. No. This mess has been brewing for years. Hidden behind those posh palace walls, behind all the smiles and curtsies. This beef goes all the way back to the royal wedding in 2011. William and Kate were the dream couple, the fairy tale everyone tuned in to see. The whole world was enchanted. Everything looked perfect. But if you squint at those official family portraits, Carol was standing right next to Camilla, smiling, graceful, but behind that smile, oof, the tension could slice through the royal wallpaper. Insiders swear it was all cold shoulders and awkward silences. Camilla's side eyes were real. Now, here's where it gets spicy. Camilla, she's old school royal. Titles, lineage, tradition, she was born into it. But Carol? She's from the other side of the tracks. Her dad was a builder. She worked as a flight attendant. Then she and her husband built a whole business from nothing. And trust me, for some of those royals, that was a red flag the size of Windsor Castle. See, it's not just who you are in the royal world, it's where you come from. And Carol, she was labeled too middle class, too normal, too relatable. While the public adored how down to earth the Middletons were, behind palace doors, it was another story. Whispers started. Do they really fit in? Should they even be part of this inner circle? And the more Kate rose in status, the louder those whispers became. At royal functions, Carol was always there, but barely included. Now, after her conspiracy story, people smiled at her, sure, but then looked right past her. It was like she was invited, but not really welcomed. Even Christmas got messy. Traditionally, senior royals spent it at Sandringham, which meant William and Kate had to be there, and the Middletons quietly cut out. Can you imagine not being allowed to spend Christmas with your daughter and grandkids? Then Prince George came along in 2013. Finally, Carol's moment to shine as a grandma, right? Wrong. The palace swooped in with royal nannies, strict protocols, and practically built a wall between Carol and her grandkids. Every time she tried to help, the palace said, "No thanks, we've got it." Can you believe that? Her influence kept shrinking, not because she wanted to back off, but because she was being pushed out. Still, she stayed quiet, but best believe she was watching everything. Now let's talk about how this all escalated, and not with fireworks or drama. Nope. Carol never made a scene, never dragged anyone in public, but behind the scenes, she felt the shift. Her ideas for family gatherings? Ignored. Queen Kate, who had always leaned on her, started drifting. Not by choice, but because now she was the Princess of Wales. Their time together got filtered, rarer, supervised, always cut short. Carol wasn't just Kate's mom, she was her anchor, the one person who kept her sane in all that royal madness. And suddenly, she was being phased out. Camilla? Oh, she definitely had a hand in it. Sources say she saw Carol as having too much sway, like she blurred the line between royalty and the real world, and that, to Camilla, was a no-go. Palace insiders even heard Camilla repeating this royal mantra, respect the hierarchy. Translation, know your place. So Carol kept her head down, smiled, nodded, but don't get it twisted, sis was taking notes. Documenting every slight, every snub. You think she's naive, she was planning. Then, February 2025. Cold morning, no press, no fuss, just one woman entering the side door of Buckingham Palace alone. No assistant, no entourage, just Carol Middleton and a leather briefcase. She wasn't on the schedule, but people knew she was coming. And what she brought, oh, it wasn't gossip, it was receipts. That briefcase, packed with documentation, names, bank statements, logs of suspicious expenses, guest lists, emails, canceled invites to family events that the Middletons were originally part of and then mysteriously removed from. It was a paper trail of every time they were frozen out. Now, you might wonder, how did she get this stuff? Easy. Carol's not just a mom, she's a business powerhouse. She built party pieces from scratch. She's handled contracts, logistics, marketing, you name it. So when the palace started icing her out, she didn't cry, she collected proof. She didn't walk in there to start a fight. She came with facts. Cold, hard evidence. And Camilla, she was not ready. A palace staffer spilled that Camilla came out of that meeting looking shattered, wiping her eyes on the way back to her quarters, not from rage, but because she knew she couldn't spin what was in that briefcase. It wasn't opinion, it was truth, laid out piece by piece. And get this, after that meeting, Camilla vanished. 10 whole days. No events, no appearances, no photos, nothing. Palace events suddenly rescheduled. Meetings canceled. Old aides quietly summoned. The entire royal machine hit pause. When has the palace ever gone dark for 10 days straight? That wasn't coincidence, that was crisis. Carol didn't just make noise, she shook the throne. She sent one big, silent message. I've been quiet. But I'm not blind, and I'm done being pushed aside. Now here's where it gets really juicy. Camilla's still trying to recover, and guess who starts stepping up? Kate. But not with drama or headlines, no. Just like her mama taught her. Calm, classy, and strategic. Suddenly, Kate's office gets moved closer to King Charles's. And in royal world, that's a power move. Proximity to the monarch equals more influence. Then Kate's public schedule, it explodes. She's everywhere. Charity events, school visits, OBAC. LA ho. And her IM is freaking fancy. Then Amy transfers. Proximity equals fancy. The king's affiliate equals proximity. And to that, she will pay Amy the money, the marks, all the talent, even major diplomatic outings. And through it all, graceful, grounded, glowing. But wait, peep the wardrobe. Gone are the flashy gowns. Now she's re-wearing old outfits, mixing in affordable brands, keeping it simple. It wasn't about fashion. It was a statement. I'm still one of you. I haven't forgotten where I came from. And the public ate it at you. Up. Suddenly, it's not just Kate everyone's watching. It's Carol too. That briefcase move sparked something. You can feel the shift in palace dynamics. Some palace staff still back Camilla, sure, but more and more, quietly drifting to Team Catherine. And guess what? The Middletons aren't being ignored anymore. They're being respected. You know what's even crazier? People close to the palace are whispering that a second meeting might be on the horizon. Yep. Apparently, Carol hinted that there's more. More evidence, more overlooked behavior, more secrets that don't look good under public scrutiny. And this time, she might not walk in alone. Can you imagine if she brings Kate with her? Or worse, for the palace at least? What if she goes public? Don't roll your eyes. Carol's smart. She's not reckless. But let's not forget, she's also media savvy. She built a brand. She knows how to shape narratives, and if she ever decides that protecting her family means speaking to the public, the palace won't know what hit them. It's not just about hierarchy anymore. It's about relevance. And Carol's showing everyone that you don't need a crown to shake the monarchy. You just need courage, clarity, and a killer paper trail. And here's a little cherry on top. The public, they are loving this. Social media is buzzing. People are calling Carol the real queen, the backbone behind the crown, even Middleton matriarch of justice. I mean, can you blame them? Because let's be real, how many times have we watched royals suffer in silence? How many scandals have been brushed under the red carpets, and now finally someone isn't just surviving the system, she's standing up to it. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't a war between Carol and Camilla. It's a shift, a realignment. And Camilla, she's definitely scrambling behind the scenes, trying to regain her footing, maybe even trying to gather her own receipts, if she's smart. But the damage? It's done. One source even claimed Camilla's personal staff were told to be extra cautious around anything related to the Middletons. Like, what does that even mean? That they're a threat now? Just for showing up and telling the truth? That tells you everything, doesn't it? Let's talk future. If this trend keeps up, if Kate continues to rise and Carol continues to be her quiet source of strength, what happens when Charles steps down? Or worse, what if something unexpected happens? Kate becomes queen consort, no doubt. But by then, don't be surprised if Carol has quietly built the kind of legacy that isn't written in royal history books, but felt in every royal decision. The mother who stood by stepped up and said enough. Already, there are rumors floating around that Kate is involving her parents more in private family life again, that she's setting firmer boundaries with the royal protocols when it comes to her own children, that Carol's influence is back and stronger than ever. Even staff at Kensington Palace are reportedly referring to her, off the record, as the quiet force. I mean, come on, that's legendary. And Camilla? She's got a tough road ahead. If she wants to keep her public image intact, she's gonna have to stop playing the gatekeeper and start showing a little more humility. Because this whole ordeal, it exposed something the palace never wanted out. That sometimes the most powerful woman in the room isn't wearing a tiara. She's carrying a briefcase. So now the chessboard is wide open. Carol has made her move. The monarchy is watching, and the public, they're not just sipping this tea anymore. They're chugging it. So ask yourself this. If Carol had that much in one meeting, what else is in her vault? What else has she been holding on to, waiting for the right moment? And if the palace underestimated her once, will they make the same mistake again? Because in this game, it's not always the crowned who rule. Sometimes it's the ones who've been quietly building power in the shadows. One snub, one email, one receipt at a time. And Carol, she's not done. Not by a long shot. Stay tuned, because this royal reckoning, oh, it's just getting started.